We got the hotel at the end of 2005, and we were able to get a loan to buy the hotel itself, but once we had started work on it, we couldn't get any further funding on it. That was during the time when the economy collapsed. So in 2008, we opened up the restaurant on the ground floor to try to raise more money to work on the restoration. But then once we got into the restaurant, which will be 4 years on the 22nd of February, then we were working 80 to 100 hours a week in the restaurant. Actually, we were open 6 days a week when we first started, and we were really putting in 100 hours or more a week. We were off on Sunday, and we would just sleep the whole day and then come back to work on Monday.
What condition was the hotel in when you received it?
When we first got here, there was no running water. There was only a few lights dangling from the ceilings. There were little pull cords, and it was also filled. Every floor and every stair tread going up through the floors was covered with stuff. And there was actually like this much room on each stair tread to get upstairs, and then there was stuff stacked on each thing. And when I say stuff, I mean it was literally stacked to the ceilings, with little pathways running through it. And we pulled out over 250 cubic yards of just stuff that Carl had pulled in from all the dumpsters around here. He used to go dumpster diving every night, and I mean there were 50 or 60 vacuum cleaners in here. There were old beds in here. There was one pile of pot lids. There was over 100 pot lids in a pile. No pots, just pot lids. And phones and beer bottles. There was several walls of beer bottles, because someday he was going to brew his own beer. So he saved all the empty bottles in boxes, and there were just walls and walls. Fortunately, we were able to take those to recycling, so that cut down on what we had to do with our dumpsters. We were using those 40-foot, 8-foot high roofing dumpsters, and we went through a lot of them. I don't even know how many, but Sandra and I just going up and down these stairs and pulling everything out. And now the electrical has been redone all the way up to the 4th floor. Plumbing's been done all the way to the 4th floor. Everything's been pressure tested, and it's all ready to go. Basically, we've got the painting of the rooms and putting the trim back on, and put up a fire escape, and we could open the building. So we've done all the heavy lifting, and we've got the ground floor basically done, and open as a restaurant for the seating, and the side building is a kitchen. The kitchen was a building that was added in the 50s, and it was completely stuffed to the rafters. In fact, you could only get a few feet inside the door when we first opened up that room. There was no electricity, no running water, and now we've got a state-approved kitchen in there. And that's where we do all our cooking for the restaurant, and then the seating's inside in the ballroom, the original ballroom from the hotel.
Hi, my name is Jerry Boki, and I'm the owner of the Classic Touch Hairstyling Salon, and have known Alexander since actually the day he moved here. And I've watched them with their dreams and goals, and the sad part about the whole thing is that I've watched Alexander's physical condition deteriorate into the point right now where my heart goes out for him, because he's in severe pain and he needs help. And so I will do anything I possibly can to help out these kids, because their goal is to get that Grandview functional, and that's all they think about.
So currently you have a 110-year-old building, 14,000 square feet, that sat for at least 30 years unoccupied and piling junk inside.
Yeah.
And over the last 7 years, you've cleared it out, rewired it, replumbed it, finished the bottom floor, and opened a restaurant. What toll has this taken on you?
Well, when I first got in here, when I was tired, I had a slight limp. I used to run marathons and walk a lot, and also had a couple of accidents when I was a commercial hard hat diver. And I had a slight limp when I would get tired. But we've been working 12 to 14 hours a day for 7 years, and most of that on my feet, and my feet on the kitchen, and on my feet on the scaffoldings and stuff like that. And now both my hips have completely deteriorated. I need a double hip replacement, double full hip replacement, and I have VA coverage, but we can't afford to shut the restaurant down long enough for me to get my hips done. And I've gone from that slight limp to, if I can use a cane to get around inside, but if I go over a block, I have to use cuff crutches. And I have to take, I can't take enough medication to stop the pain, because that I wouldn't be able to work if I took that much medication. So I'm on a pain regimen that allows me to at least cut it down far enough so I can work. But the VA doctors told me that I could wake up any day and not be able to get out of bed. So now we're in the, we can't tread water anymore. We either have to find some help so that we can finish the building so that I can get my legs fixed, or we have to sell it.
If this is too personal a question, you're free not to answer it, but what does this cost you financially?
It depends on, if we have to sell the building, I will have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, I will never get back my investment on this building. I put my entire life savings, all my retirement. I'm 52 years old. I know people don't think I'm 52, but I am. I've put everything I ever had into this building, and because it's not completed, of course, it won't sell for what it's worth if we end up having to sell it. So basically, I'm hoping it will have cost me in the neighborhood of $700,000 to $800,000 is what I'll have lost. What we want to do with the building is open up an art center and school, and open it as a working hotel and restaurant, and have the hotel and restaurant pay for the school, so it could be a continuous operation. I'm hoping that when I'm gone, that Ozarts would continue on, because it would have the income, it wouldn't depend on donations, it would have the income from the hotel and the restaurant to pay the basic expenses and keep it open. And the heartbreaking thing is that in this area, if this building gets sold and goes to somebody else, it will most likely become basically a flop house. Because the best way to make money with this building would be to turn it into a weekly rental. And that would mean that it would never become its old grand self again. It would not benefit the community in any way, because we have a couple of these places around here now, and they draw crime and problems. And instead of being a beautiful hotel and school overlooking this Berryville Square, it will be some place that the cops are showing up to every night. And it would just break my heart if that happened to it. So I put everything that I have in the world into this building. And my dream was to make one place. I mean, I can't change the world by myself, but I could make this one place where life would be fair. Where if you came here to the school and you didn't have the money, then you could work here and go to school anyway. And if you wanted a project done, you don't have to be approved. What you have to do is help other people get their projects done. And once you've earned the right to do your project by helping other people, then you get your project done. So it's not I want to set it up in a way that it'll never become a nepotistic place where only people who got in at the beginning, or only people who are friends with the people who are running it after I'm gone, will be able to do their projects. In fact, when we did put down the ground rules for Ozarts, we only had one rule, and that was that you couldn't do a project that promoted hate. It's the only thing that we have is in our bylaws, is that it can't be something that promotes hate. And that's our only restriction, because we want it to be an open and a place where true art can be created without the type of guidelines that prevent people from living their dreams.